Up, 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 up. In the club, bucket dog, hey. Yeah, so that's a lot, huh? That's tough. It's very, very gruesome. Yeah, I don't know really much else to say about that. It's still this fixation, fascination, with death. Why is that? Even still today, that hasn't really changed. And I think there's a lot to be said in that regard. I always want to keep death in perspective, because with death, you have perspective of life, and there's that much more emphasis to put your life into perspective and to accomplish the goals and tasks and everything that you have for your life, as opposed to, we might forget about, our mortality or lack depth and perspective, no, this is finite, it's to not take your life for granted, and that's why I talk so much about death. That's why I have this fixation on it, because without that, we would just be like stagnant and apathetic, so that's why I really maintain a focus on that. Especially at this time, I was studying a lot of, Bushido, that's the art of the samurai. I was studying stoicism, chivalry, a lot of these philosophies, that do emphasize, the importance of maintaining depth as a perspective. And I still, even to this day, like I meditate on my death, because that it puts everything in perspective. It makes sure you don't take no life for granted. You don't want to leave anything on the table. You want to just let it all out, so even still today, that has not changed. I still maintain that philosophy 100%. So that does conclude the first third of the project, Words of War, at about 20 minutes long. We're going to start getting to a Tales from the Dark Side of the Moon. This next track coming up here is called Testament of Hopelessness. It's still very dark, and I think this is very appropriate for us to pause here and talk about death for a second, because that's what this song is about. Guess what? That's what the next song is about. Are you surprised? So this one is about suicide. And my ideas of the time as to why, that is an issue, and ultimately I come to the conclusion that it's because of a lack of purpose, and today I have more of an understanding of what purpose is. I believe our purpose is found in other people and what we can do to help other people. I may have not said that so eloquently maybe 10 years ago, but that is my belief. And I feel like fundamentally, like, we all know these things, we may forget time and time again, but internally at our core, we all, come with this type of self-awareness. We may not choose to focus on it, but I do believe, that is the case. Now, before we get into this title, Testament of Hopelessness, it was actually derived from a book we were reading in class in high school at the time. I think it was by Martin Luther King, or inspired by Martin Luther King, called Testament of Hope. And I wasn't really into school all too much. I was good. I don't even know how I would describe what the kind of student I was back in high school. It's like I was in all of the really smart classes, but it's hard to say I never did my work. I would do my work, and I would do like all the extracurricular activities and everything. I don't know. I was more interested in learning about people and meeting people. I would go to like random people and go and meet people that I didn't know just because I didn't know them. It's like really weird, but like, I don't know, weird in a good way, like I was friends with like all kinds of people, like whether it's the nerds, the athletes, the gangsters, like the misfits. I just go meet people, like, I don't know you, like, what's up, and I would probably just start like rapping to them or just listening to them talk, and they would kind of be weirded out by it, and I just keep on moving. I think I coined a term for what I was at the time. I forgot. somebody that doesn't like really fit into like anything, but like can go and like a wild card. That's the word I'm looking for. I was kind of like a wild card, you know. And I'd meet all these people, and you know, we'd have some kind of a relationship, but it was never like a deep or intimate, you know, relationship. It was all kind of like shallow, and I just kind of feel like, you know, in regards to all other capacities in my life, I feel like it's still kind of that way too. It's really interesting, you know, but I don't really know how to describe that, and I don't think there's like really a paradigm that describes the kind of character that I was back in high school either, you know. So I don't know what to do with that information, but I just thought that was interesting. So yeah, Testament of Hopelessness. Let's get into Tales from the Dark Side of the Moon.
Your sorrows, take all the drugs they got, but the bitches you please
back up here a little
won't make you happy. Don't feel sorry for yourself, cause almost pricks.
Just a little bit. Come on, let me back up. That's cool. I really like the flow on this. I feel like I was listening to Eminem at the time. I remember I was listening to Eminem for sure. Because I remember the friends that I showed it to, and they're like, wow, that was amazing. And they don't just say that about anything. You know, we were like music snobs, you know. We like thought we had like good standards high standards for music. We actually have a music video of this song. I think this is like really where my lyrics started connecting and being more substantial. Like, I'm actually like talking about something here, you know, something that real people deal with. It's more like down to earth. I like this part here. You running out of options, I'm no rotten. If there's a pill popping alternative, we're still talking. Now your chance while there's a deal knocking. Still no real hook, you know. That's how I would take songs. I'll just run them through. This is where I started questioning faith. The subtitles are doing a really good job right now. I'm very impressed. Cause a basket makes a flow container for water. It's no foreigner, so it's brain to flow. Not a drop of staying broke in China. You hoping trying to get where faster, climbing the step master. Oh my God! In the box covered in this box, I've been the blotch on this earth since birth. So I'm sending shots through my hands, body back to God. At a loss. A loss of words which describes my condition. The loss of purpose, which the symptom of hopelessness emerges. You gonna do it? You all talk. One day I might just... Okay, I think that's the last really dark song. I like this one, Shades of Grey. It's probably one of my most lyrically dense songs, especially at the time. I think I started listening to like Cannabis around this time. Probably Cannabis and Eminem. And then there were like all of those YouTube rappers. My flow is kind of crazy on this though. The flow, so I was in like spelling classes in high school, and we would like learn words, we would learn the definitions, we would learn like how to spell. It was just an extracurricular I had, and you could see like how I started implementing all of my superfluous vocabulary into my music. Even unnecessarily. I think the second verse is my favorite. Is coming up here, but see, this is a hook, and I'm like still haven't learned to write hooks. You know, like a hook was just another like short verse for me. Here we go.
Step on into the wet cement. Commonest consequence on the face of routine. Absolutely obsolete. Statute seen desecration by concrete means. When excess the
Excessive dumb masses who don't assess the obsession of the obsessions. In essence, to full extent, they express confessions, lessons from conformity, formula, formally, a form of deformity, get you the direction of what the normal be. I show kids in high school that they're like, oh shit. Kids in in college. I showed them this in college, and that was their reaction. In high school, like kids like weren't really fucking with it, you know. So I thought that was interesting. That's why I was like, that's why I started to begin to realize my target demographic. You know, it's not music for everybody. Let's see, this is the hook though.
As we bend and break in the grave, cause though it's not implied with light and dark collide, neither realistic side explicit that is coincide. So any skeptics ain't expected, even schizophrenic skeptics, sketchy and directed clear.
Subtitles still a little bit off. They're doing pretty well though. If y'all want full lyrics, I could get y'all full lyrics for these if y'all are interested.
Prosperous, you know the purpose, telling ostriches, oliveness when honchos are held hostages. I'm no
Head honcho, yeah.
In the badness, I came to tinted glasses, meant for malice, right before we tips the balance. But you don't put your head where the worms enclosed, with nowhere to turn for you who express your concern. With you I sympathize.
See, a little more depth, a little more introspection, a little more self-awareness.
But you could bend the size if
you can see the transition in my growth, like from one section of the project to the next. I remember sharing Tales from the Dark Side of the Moon to my friends before transitioning into college from high school. And they're like, this seems so much more like you know, like a personality or, you know, your actual character, as opposed to like indoctrination, you know, that I had in the words of war. Social construction. I like the end here. See, we started getting a little bit more creative with our songs and everything. Inspect it carefully. Inspect it. Inspect it. I really like the beat on this one too. My favorite song I probably ever written here, A Tale from the Dark Side of the Moon. This is the introduction. This one really means a lot to me. I think I need to pause for the cause on this one. How are you looking on time?
32 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. This song really means a lot to me. I've detailed this before previously in one of our recent episodes on our YouTube channel about, you know, my favorite songs of myself. And I'm not just gonna go ahead and reiterate everything that I said on there, but this one really means a lot to me. I wrote this, I think, in March. I was 17, I think, at the time. I think in junior in high school, or I think I was a senior in high school. I wrote this in March. I think this is still very relevant, you know, in who I am today. You know, this song, and like I said, it wasn't the most, you know, sonically pleasing, but I do feel like it was just very honest in my perspective and enlightening as well, you know. So it's like a space odyssey kind of thing, you know. So this one really means a lot to me.
Stars wonder what's out there. Who lives there?
Right here, the intro. I was asked if I was influenced on that intro by Eminem's Lose Yourself, and at the time I said no. Now I don't know how true that was. I don't think I was intentionally being deceitful, but I don't know. It's a possibility. Sometimes I'll be inspired and I won't even be able to know where my influences came from. Like, I know this was heavily influenced by Cannabis, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. My lyrics on this is so crazy. It's just one big analogy for self-exploration in a space format. Look at ya. What's got into ya? That's what everybody will always be saying in college. Look at ya. I really love the production. Shout out to DJ Frank Reyna on the sound engineering back at the time. This has 4 verses. I actually had to loop the instrumental twice so it could fit. I had a lot to say and a lot of things that weren't included, you know, but there was a lot to say on this song because I was figuring out who I was. I was actually documenting the process of understanding who I was at the time in real time. Like, play this song at my funeral. So far, you know, if I do something better that I feel is better, but until then, not to say that I peaked as an artist. I'm definitely a much better artist, better songwriter, you know, branding, but just the integrity of this song, like, it still demonstrates, it's still very relevant, and not just my life, but I feel like all encompassing. I still rehearse and practice this song today. Like, if I had to give one song to describe who I am as a person, like, it would be this song. We also have a lyric video of this song as well.
No weapons now, those who I told him, you know what, I just want to know a bit about your culture, no bomb strap, them side contracts, my first contact, look at you, what's got me? Attempted to come expose and explode into your globe, it's just injury percentages, and in the sense the crossroad that blows a minister to the end of your furniture.
What's good, Ascendants, and those of you who are new, I am OMA, one who may ascend, conscious trap metal recording artist. Here on our YouTube channel, you can expect exclusive content, some music, freestyles, vlogs, exclusive behind the scenes, you know, so make sure you turn on your post notifications, subscribe, like, comment, share. You know, this is community, this is about family, this is about all of us. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come. We're going all the way up, eyes to the sky.